Not much of a chance, no. Mind if I ask why you're interested?
Zoe's living with the Marauders nearby, and I need something to tempt her back to camp. Stefan, why don't you shut your mouth and know who you're talking to? Hello everyone, Thranxes here, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds Episode 7, where we're about to walk into the botanical lab, see if we can't discuss getting these deserters to return to their jobs
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
with Spacer's Choice. Well, obviously I could have shot you from far away, and you the same, so let's just decide that we're both okay people and talk a second. Seems like a decent community over here. Let's see.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
But it is here. I'm looking for Adelaide, and I need some answers. Straight to the point.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
Philosophicals? Boy, I don't really have a lot of good options. I feel like this is going to initiate combat. How about, I'm just looking for the geothermal plant. Do you know anything about it?
A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Okay, where can I find Adelaide?
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
Trouble with marauders?
You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
Upbeat, a little strange, loves Rizzos? Yeah, I met Zoe. She was in a Marauders camp.
Thank the Eternal. Wait, Marauder camp? Is she alright?
No, she's become one of them. Calls herself the Queen of the Marauders.
Queen of the Marauders, huh? That's what comes of watching serials. Rots your gray.
Rots your gray.
If you could bring her home, I'd be obliged. And if you could cross off some marauders on the way, I'd be much obliged.
I think I can do both of those, but I've got some questions about
I'll
Zoe.
tell you what I can.
How well do you know her? Yeah, let's start with
enough
that.
to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
No, I don't think sarcasm. No, you know what? You seem so personable. I can't imagine how you didn't get on with her.
She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own.
One of your own, like, deserters, right? Let's
What
change
is
the
it?
subject. I'm done with you. I'll leave you be. Bunch of deserters claiming about family and loyalty and one of our own. I don't know how that's supposed to work, or what your definition of loyalty ends up being, but... Who might you be?
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
I'm not hungry. But I do want your armor parts. I'll leave your food. I have plenty of food.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too.
We got cane and
Something I
everything.
can help you with?
Don't you, Stefan? I'm told one of your numbers gone missing.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close.
Zoe.
Not like her to go loping off.
Should have known that. Was she acting strange before she disappeared?
Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. You
Everybody
sound like
here
some
is
type
odd.
of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
Really? Asking questions makes me a corporate fixer? I don't like you guys. I'm not liking this at all. Tell me what happened on the day Zoe disappeared.
Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found.
Tell me a little bit about Zoe.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her.
You don't say. Tell me about the surprise.
The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Any chance you can lend me that?
Not much of a chance, no. Mind if I ask why you're interested?
Zoe's living with the Marauders nearby, and I need something to tempt her back to camp. Stefan, why don't you shut your mouth and know who you're talking to?
Zoe's living with marauders? Yeah, that sounds like the sort of sideways, sprat-brained plan Zoe'd come up with. Yeah, could be you're telling the truth. Or maybe you're trying to wheedle me into relinquishing my only copy of the Masked Marketeer. It's a collector's edition after all.
Are you kidding me? Look at my face. Do I look like I give a dang about your show?
Yeah, you're probably right. A true fan would have displayed a gleam in their eye upon hearing the words collector's edition. Here you go, latest copy of the Masked Marketeer. Tell Zoe we're all waiting on her.
Yeah, what are you selling?
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
I don't like you, Stefan. I don't like you at all. No, I don't want any of this stuff. Let's sell our junk. And then, hold on, let's look at selling. Right, so we're going to go... how do I want to do this? You know what? I think the best way to do this is going to be to designate junk in our inventory and then sell it. I'm not giving up this mag pick.
Okay, keep it quiet.
All right. Parvati, don't be so loud while I'm trying to steal from these people. I mean... Oh, chicken. What good does it do to try to steal if you're gonna loudly exclaim, "All right, I'll be quiet." Okay, let's just go ahead and take a peek at our inventory and what do we got here? So we've got 28 armor parts, 44 weapon parts. I think that means we need to break down all this armor. Lockpick 5, heavy weapons 5, stealth skills -5. Oh, does that include lockpicking? Oh, hold on. Yeah, -5, -5. But I don't lose my mark. So I don't lose my... Okay, well that's all right. I think the truth is we just have to break this stuff down here. Yep. Get the armor parts because we just don't have that many armor parts is the thing. Oh, now we do. Okay. Yeah, so that was like 12 of them. And then for the weapons, I think we'll just go ahead and sell a lot of these is what we'll do. Ooh, a shotgun. That's pretty low damage. That assault rifle is better than that one for sure. Oh, because it's made by TNL. Let's swap that out. I really should take the time to look at some of these, huh? Okay, I think all of these trip blades can be added to junk. A lot of these, like... Yeah, I don't need all of these different melee weapons. I mean... I have a pretty good one, actually. This Aramid Ballistics Plasma Cutter is pretty legit. And a lot of these are just a waste of space and inventory, and so we're going to clean them up. Okay, so now we're just looking at guns. Well, we definitely don't need this many pistols. Holy cannoli. I think it's safe to say we can go ahead and leave one of each one maybe for a little bit. We got another TNL assault rifle. Two plasma rifles. I mean, do we really need all this extra? You know what? I'm going to hold on to some of these good guns because we don't know what we're going to give our friends. And then let's go ahead and if I want to repair this one, 15 weapon parts. Maybe I need to break some of these down. Right, and now we'll sell the rest. Okay, that's fair.
Something I can help you with?
Yeah, you can mind your mouth when you're talking to me, or
Fresh off the limb.
I'm gonna
And that
find
includes canid meat.
I'm gonna find a faraway place and pop you one. Let's go ahead and sell all of our junk, please. Wow, that was not a lot of units. That was not a lot of chits at all. So, okay, so then moral of the story is we need to be breaking down all of our weapons for parts, not selling them. That was not worth the money.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Zoe's journal, page 22. Today's the day, Zoe. Today's the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the Marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires, probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me. Living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of salt tuna. Should last me a couple of weeks if I ration. Got some adrenatime, too. Everybody loves adrenatime, even Marauders, right? I got odds those Marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple syringes of adrenatime before their eyes. This is going to be great. Look out, Terra 2. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I have a whole gang of Marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. You see, this is the problem. When people desert their company and they come live out here and then, you know... I'm sorry, but the irony is not lost on me. Thank you for the poster. The irony is not lost on me that they want me to bring somebody back because they left, but that's what they did. Then who's to say Zoe's wrong if you're not wrong for leaving Spacer's Choice if she thinks she could do better than you and she wanted to leave? The whole thing reeks of hypocrisy. And as a man of the science, I cannot stand hypocrisy. Zoe's journal. So that's it then. No more Edgewater for me, no more cannery, no more jumpsuits and gloves. Yes, ma'ams, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, because I've always hated the cannery, and I don't think I'll ever have to look back to this journal many years hence and tell myself, oh, wow, I did hate the veil once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Well, okay, I got sick and grabbed a little too much adrenatime. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? No, but you misappropriate one box of a dream at a time, and suddenly you're committing larceny. Well, if Spacer's Choice had more medicine to go around, they wouldn't have to ration who they give it to. This whole thing smacks of, like, we're so superior. We're so superior to Spacer's Choice, but yet they end up doing the same stuff, so. That's right, don't mind me, I'm just rummaging through your things here, just a stranger walking around. I wonder, you said you had me in your sights. Do you still have me in your sights? Because I don't feel like you have me in your sights right now. I wish I had known that I wasn't going to get cell value 10. I guess it tells me what the cell value is. Break down some of these. Let's actually swap out this hunting rifle for that one, and then we'll just break this one down. One weapon part, yeah, whatever. Sure. Sure, we'll get all weapon parts we can hold. We need quite a few of them. Don't mind me, Adelaide. I'm just a stranger rummaging through your stuff with somebody that you can't identify in ballistics armor. And we're just going to have our way with your lab here. Nothing to fear here. I've okayed it with your weirdly cowboy-esque guard at the front that thinks they can watch the whole camp from the front door, even though I'm back inside of a building. Terminal access, personal files. Password required. Yeah, we're going to hack that. Welcome, Adelaide. What's the first entry? May the Eternal bless my first endeavor. It's been 2 days since I walked away from life at the Edgewater cannery. Fortuitously, the old botanical labs are still operational. Mostly the soil's sour. I'll do what I can, but I'm going to need some powerful fertilizer. Tired of having the taste of salt tuna lingering on my tongue day in and day out. I want something fresh, something that grows out the earth. We found another worker from Edgewater, ex-worker now. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Reed's style of management has always been tyrannical. I imagine an exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow breathing, delirious. Must have been plagued. I set him right with a diet of greens. He was all better in a couple weeks. Physically, spiritually, he's one of our flock now. So the salt tuna is what's making people sick. They just need better food. Okay, experimental notes. I'm hereby repurposing this botanical lab from its original conception as a gear in the soulless automation of the corporate machine. This greenhouse may look impressive, but like all Spacer's Choice products, it is cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own 2 hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understand the horticulturalists failed to produce a single viable crop. Something about the soil being too poor. I am determined to find a way. May the Eternal smile upon my endeavors. Flora are living things, as sensitive to their environment as any breathing, thinking body. I contend that the crops in this region failed because the corporate scientists tending to them are cold, heartless, inhumane people acting on behalf of a sterile and inhumane power. Really? One cannot expect your crops to flush with green and reach for the sky under these conditions. The soil is sour, it's true. Yeah, we'll address that in a minute. I don't know quite how to explain that. I'm sure the scienticians will say something about biology or the carbon cycle. Duh. I don't like this person. But I can conclude after months of my own experimentation that the secret to a rich and wholesome garden is love, attention, compassion, and a natural fertilizer bursting with organic materials just as nature intended. So you literally are just using natural fertilizer and attributing it to love? That flies in the face of a lot of science, Parvati. I'm not a fan here. I'm not a fan at all.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
It is, but I don't want to talk to Adelaide yet. And I'm going to tell you my reason why, Parvati. It's because I don't think we're going to get along. And I don't think they're going to like my decision. And so I'm inclined to say that we should scour the rest of this location before it turns into a war zone. Because I am not going to be pushed around, threatened, or intimidated by a bunch of deserters who scoff at science. That's not how we're going to do things here today. All right, Parvati, if you're going to come in,
I'm going.
stand over there and shut the door behind you. We're trying to steal everything we can from these people before we tell them to go back to their assault tuna cannery. Now, I'm not opposed to saying that they might be onto something when they say that they need to eat a better diet than just the salt tuna, but
If you're hungry, keep your wits about you, friend.
I don't agree with the way they're going about things here, though. As long as nobody's watching. That one was a little dangerous. But I can pick up these mock apples laying on the ground. That's nice. Oh, it might be time to add some of that to our inhaler, actually. What is this? 200 health regeneration? Oh, yeah, let's do that. You got landmines in the back here, eh? What are you trying to do with landmines? I thought you guys were these peaceful naturists. But the exit to your town is all mined up? Don't say.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Really?
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
I'm just trying to get my ship off the ground.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we?
Oh, you're a...
Sorry, just wasn't sure if
philosophizer?
you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Oh my gosh. What a jacked up crew you guys have here. Well, it's never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple of pointers. I pride myself on my knowledge, and I love teaching others, so...
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
I've got one of those data pads. Wait, you only mentioned 2 pads. Tell me about the third.
I wish I knew. I wager the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say.
Well, today's your lucky day. I've got one of them.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 2. Found it in the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
I'll let you know if I find any others.
Sure. I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
But I want to ask you something
What's on your mind?
first. How long have you actually lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
But what were you even doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
Oh.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... oh, this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
I should go. Let's look at this workbench. Yes, modifications. Yes. We've got weapon sights. We got the speed grip. Or the sure grip. The durability. Or speed grip. Attack mod, Mr. Ouch. Power attack damage, Mr. Power. Changes the damage to plasma. We already have that. I don't see. I feel like. What do we got? New magazine mod, N-ray damage. Ooh, shock. Or magnum. Magazine size. Or the N-ray mod. But it lowers the damage. Yeah, this thing's already low damage. What if we tinker? Oh. Yes. Yep. 102 bits, sure. And tinker this one a little bit more. Why is it going down? The attack is going up, but I'm not getting the full damage. It only says 67, but the gun itself is 84. It's got to be because of my skills, right? Long gun sway. Why? Why? I wonder. Okay, that's fine. We'll have to put some points in there. At our next level up. Our next one. Come on in here, Parvati. Thank you much. Mm-hmm.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Ooh, the power regulator. See, now I'm thinking we don't even have to really ask anybody if we don't want to, do we? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, there's bound to be a way to shut this thing off here somewhere. We don't even need to really ask Adelaide if we don't want to. Thinking we just pull the power regulator out and be done with it. And then everybody will have to come back to Edgewater.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
No, get out of your bed. I want to steal your stuff. Well, I guess as long as you're locked in here, there's not a whole lot I can do, is there? Alright, we'll leave you be. Oh, what have we here? $23 mock apples. I accept these terms. Oh, all their food stores belong to me. Where did all the mock apples go? I don't know. It couldn't be the new guy rummaging around through town. Not one chance. I mean, we've leveled up this hunting rifle a little bit. I think I'm going to do it maybe one more time. Push it up to level 6, 72. I mean, that's not bad. Let's see if we're going to modify it. Shock damage or just oversized magazine. Or we've got the scope. This mod is already installed. I think we'll leave it be for now. We've spent a good bit of units on just upgrading it and making it a more viable weapon. You know what? Here, let's shut this door, please. Would like all this ammunition. Ooh. Another hunting rifle. I don't mind if I do. Make sure nobody else is in here. Alright, Parvati. Parvati, you can come back to me. Thank you. You don't have to hang out over there anymore.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
There's not going to be an easy way to pick that lock. This building is kind of front and center to everything here. Alright, perhaps we do need to go talk to Adelaide at this point and see what's going on. Now that we've effectively taken everything out of here. Alright, keep in mind though, I'm not going to mess around. If it comes to it, we're going to have a scrap, and that's just the way it's going to go. Adelaide McDevitt, I presume?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Yeah, I'm not here to join your camp.
Really? Now that you mention it, you don't have the look of an indentured laborer about you. Not nearly enough despair in your eyes.
Mm-hmm. I'm not from around here, but Parvati is.
Hi, Miss McDevitt.
Parvati. Are you still in the custom of collecting flowers? You're welcome to take your pick. I do apologize for visiting upon your intentions. You and yours are welcome here. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
I can't help but notice, like, Parvati doesn't want to leave her job at the cannery to come here. So obviously there's something going on. Let's just jump straight to the chase. I don't like to mince words. Reed sent me here to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed asks you consider coming back to the town. He's willing to make amends. I'm pragmatic here. I'm not trying to be cold, but you guys need to rejoin the fellow colonists and work together. Divided apart, you're both gonna suffer.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
How close to my chest should I play the cards is the question. Look. What? This is serious. I'm about to cut off your power. I'm done mincing words.
You're doing this for Reed? Why?
No. Your camp has a power regulator, and I need it to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Yeah, a hero to you, not to the people of the town. But what have you got against... No, I know the problems of the town. Look, I'm not trying to get mixed up in your problems. I just want to fix my ship.
Well, if it's all the same to you, then you ought to divert power over to us, shut down Reed's cannery, and scrap it for parts.
What have you got against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Ah, you see?
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
They built everything out here, did they not? I mean... I don't much like you throwing that in her face to get me on your side. Bad form.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
It doesn't matter.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
Yeah, exactly. But Thompson's the only monster here. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Well, let's say I help you. Then what happens to the people of Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
No. No, I'm leaving. All of this technology belongs to Spacer's Choice. You guys joined... why did you... see, the grass is always greener on the other side, right? And the old boss is a piece of work until you meet the new one. But I'm not having it. No, I'm not feeling this at all. Where are we going here? Let's assess... Divert power to the geothermal plant. Adelaide refused to return to Edgewater. No, I'm going to try one more time and see if maybe there's a conversation topic we missed.
Anything else I can do for you?
When we first talked, you assumed I'd come to live here.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
And what's that exactly?
Remains to be seen. Might be the man that saves the Vale. Might be Reed's personal gun hand.
Save the Vale?
People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength, but not the will. You seem to have both.
Flattery won't work on me.
I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life.
You could always continue your way of life back in town. Right? I mean, what? Because if you're the only person holding this place together, what happens when you're not around anymore? No, I believe Reed's making an offer in good faith, and seeing as how you came over here as Spacer's Choice employees, you should consider it.
If you think Reed does anything in good faith, then you are asking to be lied to.
You and Reed obviously have some sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me.
Ugh. There's obviously more to it than that.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left.
No joke.
That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
I'm guessing Reed has his own side of that story, because if not...
I could not possibly care less if he does. But you're surely welcome to ask him.
We've talked enough. No. Okay, so Reed is going to have to answer to that. Now, I understand they're short on medical supplies, but... I mean, yeah, we're going to have to figure this out a little bit before we do something else. I think before we do all that, though... Let's see, do I get a marker on the map? I do. There's one over here. Well, we need to go there anyways for the medical supplies, right? But before we do that, let's go back and find Zoe. And we'll, yeah, we'll convince Zoe to return. We might as well. And that'll be in the next episode. Until then, take care.